Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Payday 3. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zarel. Let's get to it. So we're doing the Golden Shark heist today, but before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So we're going to try and do this Golden Shark heist quietly. You can do, you have a choice in almost every heist where you can do it quietly or you can go guns blazing. Guns blazing always has more risks involved with it. Trying to do it quietly, there's always that risk that you're going to be found out. So first and foremost, you have to get into the HR department, which is behind the tellers here. But in order to do that, you need a QR code. In order to get the QR code, you're going to have to find someone's phone that's been left around and get the QR code or get the scan off of the phone. So check the desks here that are out in the open. And here's one phone right here. Just make sure that no one's, watching you. It's a public area. But if you're doing something shady, they're not going to like it. All right, so choose which door you're going to go through. The one on the left here is closer to the HR, so that makes more sense. We're going to put this on a loop. There we go. You can tell it's on a loop because it's blue. And once again, you don't want people, especially like security guards or cameras watching you while you're doing anything out of the ordinary of what a normal bank customer would do, like scanning your phone on this to get in through the door. So we're going to wait for that guard to move on, and then we're going to do what we need to do. Make sure when you are looking at or preparing to scan the QR code, it'll say observed if someone's watching you, but it doesn't say where they're watching you. So it takes a couple seconds and then boom, open the door. And now we're in a private area. If we get found out in the private area, then the guard's going to escort us out back to the public area. But that's it. So it's going to delay our heist, but not end it. So now that I'm past that other one, I'm going to go ahead and loop this one. There we go. So I don't have to worry about that one. There's still one out in the hall that I have to worry about. And here we go. If things go south, just trying to look around and see if there's any phones or money lying around or anything. There were health packs there that we could do. Now we need to find a computer to figure out who we need to move forward. So another QR code that we can get from here, so we can get that other door, or the second door I should say. There's actually more than two doors. Anything with a little red exclamation mark means you don't want people watching you while you're doing it. There we go. Hack complete. We got who we need. Now this could be one of several people. So depending on your playthrough, you might have to go to a different area of the bank. One of the nice things about Payday 3 is that you can do the same heist over and over, but things change a little bit so that it's not always, go here and do this and go there and do that. Bada bing, bada boom, and then you're done. You always have to look at what you're doing because it might be a little bit different. If you've done the heist, a bunch of different times, then yeah, you're going to know the different ways of going about it. and getting to the end just by seeing what it says to do next. All right, there's a big pile of cash here. I'm glad we stopped here. We didn't have to. One of the things about exploring around is that you can get things that you wouldn't have otherwise have gotten.
You shouldn't be.
I got found out.
I will need you to come with me.
So like I said, it's a private area. It's not a big deal. He says, hey, you must have taken a wrong turn. This isn't the area that you should be in. Takes you back to the public space and then says, hey, don't do it again. But that's it. Now, if we were in a secure area, that would be much different. They would go ahead and put the cuffs on you, and then you would need your teammates to get you out. And if you're doing this solo, then that's it. That's the downside of playing solo. The AI doesn't help you out that much, and if you get taken out or if you get handcuffed, it's over. So much more brutal going solo. You might be asking how to do a heist solo. Currently, so they are working on getting a solo version where you can just say, hey, I want to do this solo, and then go in and do it just like I'm doing here. But as of this point right now, you can go in and do an invite-only heist. It'll take a couple minutes for that to cycle through, and then it'll put you in basically into a group where you're just by yourself. It's much better off if you're doing a heist, any heist, with either your friends whom you can communicate with, and you kind of know what to expect from everyone, or playing with a group of people that have done the heist before so that they know where they need to go and what they need to do. Now there's a person in here. Wherever you have to go, there's going to be a person, so you have to kind of work around where that person's at. Much like the area of the bank that you have to go to, whether it's here or another spot, the key card that you need is going to be in a different spot. It's procedurally generated, so you have to kind of look around and try and figure out where it's at. All right, now that we have the key card, there's two key cards, a red one and a blue one. We're going to need both of them if we're going to do this quietly. If we go loud, there's other things that you have to do. So we're going to go quiet. We got that open. Not a big deal. Now we're in a private area. Once again, the vault's behind this door. Vault lobby, as it says there. Now, if you're playing with other players, this will go much, much more quickly if they have any idea of what's going on. So the other employees, when you're in a private area, don't really pay any attention to you, but the cameras and the guards know something's up. They know you don't belong there. So if a camera sees you, if a guard sees you, then you're going to get escorted back out to the public area again. So long as you're not in a secure area, you're okay. All right, so we need to get access to the vault lobby. In order to do that, we need to get to the server room. So we need to look around for the server room. Where the server room is for me, it may be in a different location for you. I'm not entirely certain. I haven't done this enough to know if the server room changes places. Just know that some of these rooms may be changed around from where you see it here. So once again, private area, security guard, or camera they know right away you don't belong there. Other people, they do not.
You're not allowed in here.
They don't know that you belong there or not, but if they see you, picking a lock or something like that, then they will raise the alarm. So we got found out by the security guard, but no harm, no foul. He's going to escort us back to the public area, and then we can continue on. So it's kind of a...
The specs don't say exactly where the
You're not supposed to be in this area, you naughty boy. Don't do it again. But there's no strike count or anything that's like, oh, you've been found in private areas 2 times or 3 times, and now they're going to arrest you. Which is good, because I think you can take a few more risks going into a private area if you don't have a strike counter on you, where if they find you a certain number of times that they're going to raise the alarm. So that's good. All right, so after a while, the server room is going to have that question mark on there, so you know where it's at. So you don't have to look around the entire second floor. All right, it's got a thing right there. It's like, hey, you're in the server room. That guy found me. So now we got to do this the hard way. So we can still do this quietly, but it's going to be much, much more difficult now, because once you put your mask on, you can't take it off. So if you're in a secure area, like I am right now, and anyone, doesn't matter who, sees you, they're going to raise the alarm. They're going to raise the alarm, or you're going to be handcuffed.
That'd be bad.
And once you get the mask on, you can't take it off, so you can't go back into, incognito mode once you've decided to go aggressive. So we've got this hack going. All right, but now it's stopped. So now we have to go and figure out what we need to do. There's a marker on the map. Now, luckily, my gun does have a silencer on it, so if I do use the gun, it's not going to be, game over. We need the blue one for that. Here I was going to go like door to door, go across. All right, but that guy's moved on. That security guard's moved on. I know there's one there, and at least one on each side, at least for my particular run. When you do your run, it may be a little different. Continuing to kind of look around to see if there's anything worthwhile to pick up while we're moving around. All right, we got a camera that we can hack. It's in a endless loop. And now we don't want anyone to see us. Because we've got the mask on now, so the employees are going to freak out if they see us. They're going to try to run away and pull the alarm. If the security guards or camera sees us,
It's a guard.
they're going to raise the alarm. So we either need to move quietly around the cameras and the security guards and the people. Oh man, that's a lot of people. All right, so I think I had an option before starting this particular heist. I think it was called like Gold and Shark Celebration. So most of the employees are in the break room, which this is the break room, and I have to go right past the break room.
The
And I got found out. And so now all these people know something's up. I'm just kind of making sure that no one's like running. Because that's what I don't want. I don't want one person to get away and then pull the alarm. Because then we go from stealthy to guns blazing. So basically you have to tie everyone up. Do you have to? Not necessarily. You might be fine. Ooh, that was close. So now I need to go over here. Oh, there's a guy. I don't know if he was running or if he just happened to be going by. Unless it can be avoided, you don't want to shoot any of the civilians. The civilians will negatively impact your run. You'll either have to pay... yeah, that wasn't good. There we go. Took care of that guy because we didn't have much of a choice. Whenever you take out a security guard, though, you have to answer the radio. And then you see on the left-hand side, we only have so many radio answers before they get suspicious and raise the alarm. The only thing I don't like is that you have to pick all these people up and then throw them down before you can tie them. If they're cowering, you can't just tie them up. All right, so I think everyone's tied up. And now that the one guard that's on this side is taken care of, I can just take out the security cameras. You might be saying, well, why didn't you take out the security cameras earlier? Well, there's a very good reason not to. If a security guard goes around in the vicinity of a broken camera, all of a sudden they'll be on heightened alert. They'll be looking around for someone. So they'll be actively searching the area looking for someone. And not just that area, but in the entire map. I think in the entire map, not just that particular guy.
The connection.
So once you put your mask on, it's a whole new level of stealth because you really have to not get seen by anyone, anytime. So whenever you see a camera, like I know that I'm pretty sure this half of the second story only had the one guy. All right, so I can go back to the server room. I have to go kind of slow because I know this other half has a security guard that kind of walks around. So I want to make sure that everything's taken care of. All right, so we're waiting for that to finish up. Just kind of keeping my eye on the two doors to the server room. Just waiting for that to finish up. And like I said, if you've got other people with you, it'll make it a lot easier. Especially if one person has to put their mask on because they get caught in a secure area. In order to prevent the alarm from being raised, you know, they take the guy out. Depending on if it's a security guard or a civilian, you know, just grab them, throw them down, tie them up, or, you know, take them out. But then you have to answer the radio, and then you've got that countdown there on the radio. So you could still have your other team members incognito and not having to worry about. They can move around more freely than you. All right, so there's 4 different passcodes that it could be, Now, in order to figure out which one it is, we're going to have to go back to, and this is one of the points that is like, it would make a lot more sense if you're playing with other people, because someone can be over at the door. You say, okay, what numbers do you have? Because you have a little UV light on your gun, or just all the time. I don't know. But when you get close to the number pad, you can see the fingerprints of the numbers. So then you at least know what numbers are there. And then whatever numbers you have, it's going to be not a big deal. There we go. Took care of that guy. We're going to take care of this camera. Troublemakers, and we got that.
Yeah.
We got
Hey there, buddy.
we got to answer
This
the
all
radio.
Kind of spooked me, but turns out it was nothing. You go back to
Now, if there are any other civilians that are roaming about this level, then you've got to hide the body somewhere. I'm relatively certain that there aren't, but just to be safe, I'm going to take this guy to the server room and drop him off with this guy that's tied up. There we go. Close the server room door. Probably don't have to go back there. Now, when you're in a private area or secure area, if you're running, if you're close enough to another security guard, they'll hear you and then they'll come and investigate, even if it's in a different, not in their normal loop. All right, so should be okay just to go over to the number pad. And we see we've got the 5 and the 9 and the 3 and the 2. So then solo, you have to go run back and forth to see what numbers there are. If you're in, even with one other person, you have one person at the computer saying, oh, here's your passcode. And that's all procedurally generated, so your passcode is going to be different than my passcode. Not only the numbers that you're given, but the numbers that are going to be flagged on that touchpad. All right, so 2935. Check.
You got it.
There we go. And if you get it wrong, then the jig is up. All right, so just kind of looking through, just making sure that nobody's there.
2 layers of security, a laser system, and a dual security lock. Let's deal with the lasers first.
Close the door just to be safe. And I'm going to go ahead and loop that camera simply because I'm not entirely certain who else is in this area. Like, are there other employees in the area? Are there security guards in the area? We don't know. Yeah, if you see a camera, you can always duck right underneath it and you'll be in the blind spot. So since there's one there, there's probably another one over here somewhere. Just keep our eyes open for it. There we go. So it looks like this whole area is pretty much clear. All we need to do is, and another camera. So I'm trying to be a little bit cautious because there's only a certain number of radio calls that I can answer. I've already done 2. So trying to do a heist, whether you're doing it guns blazing or trying to do it quietly, you have a lot of considerations that you have to take into account. And you would think that the direct approach is going to be the fastest approach, although it's not necessarily the case. The more that you do a particular heist, the more you're going to get used to it, and then it goes faster. So the first time you do any heist, it's going to take you a little bit longer anyway, and
Turn off the switches.
recognizing the steps and potentially where to go. All right, so we need to open this up. There's 4 different terminals that we have to open up. and we got to flip the blue switch. So we got that,
So,
and now all of a sudden
go check the box.
it changed. Now I had some concerns that the
Logic. You'll need to check back.
color would change like every so often. Like if I didn't find the next panel very quickly, it would change to a different color. But I believe that it is, instead of that, it is every time you do one panel, it changes. So each panel is going to be a different color or potentially a different color.
Find more electrical boxes.
So
Take a look on the upper
just double checking. Yeah, still white, so should be good. So we'll open up the panel and then flip the white switch. Boom. Good. Good to go. Halfway there. Two more. Green for the next one. We need the blue card for that. Look around. And there we go. So green, boom. So now we just have to find the last one. And there it is. So I'm going to open it up and then take a look. I can't quite see what it is from the balcony, so I'm going to need to go back down. Once again, if you're playing even with one other person, this is going to go faster because you can say, okay, what's the next color? And they can just say, hey, it's white, it's blue, it's whatever. There we go.
Good. Now turn off the laser.
But we're done, and we can move on. Just checking around the desk, see if there's anything lying around.
Nicely
There we go, lasers are down.
Next
Now we
up,
just have to open the
you'll need a
vault.
blue key card to unlock the vault.
But in order to do that, we have to do something else.
From the manager's computer.
So we need to go into the bank manager's office.
Once you activate the vault,
So as you're exploring around, hopefully you've come across the bank manager's office already.
I'd find the key card first.
But we also need the blue key card. So I feel like we've already gone around the first floor quite a bit. So I think
I'm sure you can find some blue key cards lying around. People are so careless.
we can go around the second floor and figure out where it could be. Because I haven't been all over. And where I find my blue key card is not necessarily where you'll find yours. So look around. Like, I don't expect to find one in the bathroom, but if it's there, it's there. You did see the health pack in there. It's always good to know. We'll look around and try and find... Look, there we go. There's the blue key card. Picked it up. Now we have to go to the branch manager's office. So we need to do that. And we'll probably need the blue key card in order to do that as well. I'm worried about it's on the first floor. Because if I have to go back down to the first floor and go anywhere, pretty much anywhere, I am out. I'm out of the stealth game, and I have to switch gears to guns blazing. So I think the best thing to do would be to look around the second floor, see if I can find the branch manager's or bank manager's office, and then if it's not up here, then go down to the first floor and, you know, face the music, as it were. Go ahead and open doors that are locked. Could have opened that one from the inside, but that's okay. We got the server room. I don't know if it's timer or proximity or what the case may be, but sometimes you have an icon pop up. There we go, bank manager's office, and we did need the blue access card to get in. Go ahead and hack the computer. That was clean. There we go. Now we have to quickly, luckily we took care of the guards and everything else, so we can just kind of run and not have to worry about getting found out. And then boom.
Great. It's unlocked. Open it up.
Unlocked. And Merry Christmas. Now, of course, this is only part of it.
For the server and the
Any loose money that you get is basically kind of bonus on top of.
everything we want to know about
Put it over here in the corner so people that just happen to wander aren't going to see a weird duffel out in the open. So, loose money, it's relatively a small amount of
it's probably
the total that you're going to get for a heist.
steal all the money you can.
There's plenty of stacks of money here that we can get. But one of the important things that we want to grab is the server. We want that server. That's going to be a big chunk. We're going to check all nooks and crannies of the vault to see what's going on. While we've got the marker, we're going to go ahead and pick the locks here because it'll go a lot faster. There we go. Get the duffel, that's it. So what you want to do is you want to pick up every single stack of money, all the loose money. Have it in a central location that's defensible. If you do have to switch gears to guns blazing, then you only have to worry about one section. All right, so now as we're going along, we're looking for that server. So there's only one, it looks like, one cabinet to open, probably in each nook. All right, so there's only one left. Go ahead and bag up these last couple stacks of cash. What are we up to? 10, 12 stacks of cash? I have no idea.
That's everything. Now get the fuck out of there.
We're going to see how many we can get out with. All right, so there we go. There, that's it. Now we're going to have to bag that one up, which means that we're going to have to dump that last one over there.
All right,
There we go.
secure it in the van.
We got it. Now it's time to load up and get out. Boy, taking the elevator would really be a nice thing, wouldn't it? So what you need is garage access. I'm looking here on the second floor. If there was garage access on the second floor, it would make my job a lot easier. Now, I think the garage access doors are always the same. So that's something that's not going to change from one playthrough to the next. So it's not like, you know, sometimes it's going to be on the second floor and sometimes it's not. It either is on the second floor or it's not. And that's what I'm finding out right now. It looks like there's no garage access. Because it seems like there were two, like one on each side, but it must have been on the first floor. I was really, really hoping that there was one on the second floor, because that would really make it easier. Those red doors go into the vault room. The sides that I didn't really go into, which then goes to roof access. Alright, so I'm going to have to quietly go down and hopefully not get seen by anyone. Now, if you were able to get this far without having a mask on, then you can just walk right on through. Because it's a public area, you don't have to worry about it. It's only the private areas and secure areas if you're not wearing a mask. That was close. Alright, so this is garage access. There we go. Now you can actually enter in the beginning the garage instead of going directly from the street into the bank. You can go from the street into the garage and then take the garage up to... There's a civilian there that we have to avoid. And a security guard. Probably a couple of cameras too.
I thought I heard
Oop.
something.
Wasted a knife, but hopefully probably the last knife that I will be able to use.
Thanks for calling, buddy. I feel much safer now. I'm glad you guys
It's
over
all
there
the
control
silent,
not gullible at all.
stealthy approach. So one of the nice things about Payday is that you can have different loadouts depending on how you want to approach a heist. If you want to, you can go stealthy. You know, if you're playing with your friends, you know, all the better, because then you can be like, hey guys, you want to do this stealthy or you want to do it loud? And they're like, hey, let's do it stealthy. And then you can say, oh, okay. You can set your loadout to your stealthy loadout and then approach it that way. If they're like, hey, no, we did it stealthy last time, let's do it loud. And you say, oh, okay. And then pick one of your guns blazing loadouts. Alright, so we got a bunch, or a few more, I should say, loose stacks of bank access. I'm not entirely sure where that goes, so I'm actually going to close it back up. Alright, so all we have to do now is load up the van. Oop. And a security camera. Just in case I'm going to do that. Alright, so we got the server. That's the most important piece. Kind of like the crypto wallet in the Rock the Cradle heist. Alright, I'm not entirely certain about the setup in the garage, so I'm being a little bit more cautious. I know that there's at least a civilian down there. And they found the broken camera, which almost saw me. So now they're kind of searching. So the stakes are only getting higher as I'm going through here. And that is kind of intended, that as you go along, being exposed, having the alarm raised, continues to increase as you go along. Like how many radio calls you have left before the alarm is raised, having to put your mask on, things like that. All of a sudden, everything is just like gets a little harder and harder as you go along until either you finish or you get found out and then you have to switch gears. I mean, you can always have a loadout that's kind of a hybrid where you have some aspects of stealth in there, but also have a backup for when things go badly. So depending on what you want to do. Just curious, just trying to look around and scope things out. Exploring is never a bad option. Kind of see where things are at. So minimally, in order to pass this particular heist, you need to get that percentage up to 100. So you need to keep going back and forth, grabbing duffels, bringing them back down to the van, and filling up the van. Anything beyond that is going to be optional, but it's going to increase your total payout. And as I've said a few times before, if you're playing with other people, even if it's just one other person, if it's 3 other people that know, what's going on in terms of stealth, it's going to go very, very quickly because you're pulling 2 or 3 or 4 duffels at a time instead of 1. And if you had to put your mask on, but your friend did not, they can go in and out of the lobby here, not have to worry about it. They don't have to worry about being seen with or without a duffel. It's no big deal. It's only in the private area or secure area that they would have to be concerned. Like the garage access or vault lobby. So go back and forth, fill it up. You see that percentage on the top left go up with each duffel that you put in there. And if you've been exploring, if you've found extra loose money that's been lying around, then you're obviously going to have a bigger payout. And if you get every single duffel out, that's going to maximize your payout at the end. But maybe at some point you're just like, I just want to get finished with it and not have to worry about the heist failing. So there's always that. So what's your risk tolerance? And as I said, if one of the people that you're playing with is masked and you are not, it's going to be a little bit easier. If it's... I don't know. Oh, I think I just dodged a bullet there. I was worried I got found out. It was close. There is a cooldown when someone starts to become aware of your presence. Alright, looks like one more duffel should do it. And then we have the option of what we want to do from there. It does take time, to go back and forth. Like I said, if you're playing with another player or 3 other players, it should go really, really quickly. If the amount of time that I spent getting these just to the mandatory minimum, you could have gotten all of them. And if I'm the only one that has a mask on, I could hang out in the garage access area. And then, they can throw down the duffels and I can just go back and forth. Say like right down here. And just go between there and the van. I mean, having more people there we go, look at that. Now, even though you go back and forth, there's always that chance that you're going to get caught. And that's what happened.
Shit, that's the alarm.
So,
Let's get busy, people.
I could have escaped, and it's right next to the van. So you basically get in the van, drive off, and you're done. But now we have to switch gears, and now we have to go up to the roof access. And sometimes when you have to switch gears, all of a sudden you're like, oh man, where was that at? Where was the roof access at? And had I opened the red doors, I could have gotten there through the second floor.
I can use them for hostage negotiations.
However, I did not. Which of course means that I have to go to the vault area to get to the roof access. So I'm trying to buy myself a little extra time while I'm trying to remember where the roof access was at. Can't even pick that guy up. Alright, so I got rid of as many hostages as I can. Looking around for roof access, like I said, had I opened that, it would have been pretty easy to get to. It's also very easy to get to because it's right in between the first and second floor. And that should not change from one playthrough to the next, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Both garage access and roof access are always in the same spot. So first floor for garage access, and then the, what would that be? Floor and a half for roof access. So had I done that right away, I would have saved myself an extra minute of time getting attacked. And since we've already gotten the minimum,
Watch out, they're bringing in dozers.
we're going straight into basically the end game for the assaults. Usually there's
Safety's off.
assault after assault after assault where you have a small amount of time in between each one where they're regrouping. But instead, this is just like you get attacked and then you're gonna get attacked again. Basically right away. I don't know why I moved my aim. Apparently I thought I hit him. Alright, let's call in the helicopter. We just have to hold out until they get here. I've got my overkill weapon that I can call in. But otherwise, yeah, it's just wait until you can... until the helicopter shows up and then you can get out. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Sending in the weapon now. The cops are about to launch a final attack wave. They won't back down this time.
I'm losing my patience!
Sentry gun set up.
I'm on approach. ETA 1 minute. Bunker!
Bunker's history.
Check the goddamn native! Not far now.
Sentry gun ready.
Cops are not regrouping anymore. They'll keep coming until you're dead or in custody.
I killed the fucking sniper. Sniper down.
It's the motherfucking dozer!
Okay, I'm here. Get the back.
Yeah, we made it.
PlayStation